Okay, in the last lecture, we have seen semaphores. That time I mentioned that the applications of semaphores, there are three applications of the semaphores. Okay, it solves critical section problem for n processes. This we have already seen in the last video. Next, it decides order of execution among the processes, and the third is resource manager. So in this video, we are going to see this, how it decides the order of execution among the processes. So for example, if there are multiple processes like P1, P2, P3, okay. So till now we have studied that operating system can give chance to any of the process to start executing first. Okay. So this is okay if all the processes are independent. Okay. Suppose the processes are dependent. Okay. Then the result, the end result may be dependent upon the order of execution. Okay, so here when the result is depend upon the order of execution, we will expect that the process sequence of execution should be maintained. Okay, so for example, if we want to calculate cost of a particular area, so maybe process P1 is calculating the radius. Then process 2 is calculating the area, and process 3 is doing some other task depending upon the area. So in this case, the order of execution should be this way. First P1 should be executed, then P2 and then P3. Otherwise, the result will be wrong. Similarly, for in other example, suppose P2 is calculating the sum of the numbers, P3 is calculating the average, and P4 is calculating the standard deviation. So here in this case, the sequence of execution should be like this, from P2 to P3 to P4. Okay, so we will see in this case how operating system will take care. Okay, so suppose this is P1, P2, and P3. Okay, what we want is we want to execute P2 first, then P1, and then P3. Okay. We are using here two semaphores, S1 and S2. First we'll initialize S1 and S2 to 0. Okay. So what is our requirement? P2 should start executing first. Okay. So we should not write any condition over here, because we want that P2 should start executing first. So there should not be any condition. So we will not write a wait statement here. No wait statement. Okay. So we'll start with executing P2. At the end of P2, we will write here signal S1. Okay, here it will be wait S1 and whatever they want to execute, then signal S2 here, and it's wait S2. Now you see here, initially P2 will start executing. When it reaches this signal, so this signal, what signal is doing here? It increments the content of S1. So S1 becomes 1. So as soon as this one becomes 1, and when P1 start executing, this wait function will return value of S1 equal to what? 0. It will execute this, then this will increment the value of S2 to 1, and this will decrement the value of S2 to 0, and it will execute. So now you can see here the order of execution is from here P2 to P1. From P1 it will go to P3 like this. Okay. Now if operating system gives the charge to P1 first initially, so what will happen? See, what is this? Wait S1. What is the initial value of S1? 0. So what will happen if S1 value is 0? In wait function we have studied what is written here. While S1 less than equal to 0 semicolon S1 equal to S1, sorry, S1, this is what, minus, right? S1 minus 1, this is the requirement. So whenever S1 is 0, what will happen? This will be true, and this won't come out of the while loop. Okay, initially if it is P1. So P1 cannot start execution. Okay, similarly, same thing will happen here. If OS gives control to P3 at the beginning, again S2, the value of S2 is 0, it won't come out of while loop, and it cannot start execution. Okay, so P2 will start execution first, then P1, and then P3.